Hey, I'm Dani.
And I'm Adam.
And this is the Play Your Best podcast.
We're a husband and wife team, faith-filled parents, wellness coaches, and the founders of DNA Fitness and the Live Long Collective.
And this show is all about helping you live long and live well and becoming the best, healthiest version of yourself, physically, mentally, and spiritually.
Each week, we'll break down real-life strategies to build lasting health, stronger habits, deeper relationships, and a faith-filled mindset that equips you to show up fully in every area of your life.
So if you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or just tired of starting over, welcome. You're in the right place.
Let's help you play your best. Hey guys, welcome to Play Your Best podcast. My name is Adam Robbins and I'm here with my wife,
Dani Robbins.
And we got another amazing episode for you tonight. We are going to talk about how to break the cycle. So what cycle are we talking about?
Really any habit that you want to change and you feel that you're super stuck to.
Yeah. So typically we see people, including ourselves, right? We get stuck in these routines or rhythms that no longer serve us, and they slow us down from getting to our goals, and we just want to learn how to get rid of them, so we stop doing those things.
Yeah, they're either affecting your energy or they're just not helping you toward longevity or really to who you ultimately want to be, like you're saying. So we often hear the story of, like, I've struggled with this for a very long time and I want to get this result, but I can't because of this. And usually if you hear time, you hear it's too hard, you hear all these things. And so you just want to make it more tangible and break it down. So that's no longer your story.
Absolutely. Change your story, change your life. So what are some things that people tend to get stuck in the routine or rhythm of doing that stop them from progressing? And we're talking about in the health and fitness space. So let's like target some things so that maybe we can be speaking specifically to some people that may be listening right now.
Yeah. So specifically, like, sweets is a huge one. Like at every meal, they feel like they have to have sweets. So sugar, and then a large amount. I went to an event this weekend and, they gave us a drink with their meal. And somebody pointed out that just the one drink, and it wasn't like a really big drink, it was a medium-sized drink, had like 126% of the sugar intake for the day,
Wow.
And they felt like, didn't feel too great after. And then there was dessert served, and then there was two desserts served. And if we're not cautious of what we're doing, it adds up really quick. So to start pulling it out could be a shocker,
Yeah.
Like when we did the Whole30 a long time ago, it was in everything, right? It was in our seasonings.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It was in like everything. It was in things that you wouldn't think it was in, and it was in there. So, when you want to make a change and it's part of your life, it can feel daunting.
Yeah.
So that's one. Another one's alcohol. That's a really big one because people socialize with it. Then it becomes a way of people relaxing, and so the brain's made all these connections. So does sugar, and the brain's made these connections, these feel good emotions. And then it becomes part of also like a way people connect. And then to change that can feel very daunting.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are two big ones.
Yeah.
Those are really two huge ones. I would say that one that I think about is the inactivity. A lot of people are very sedentary nowadays. They have office jobs or stay-at-home jobs, and they just sit behind a desk most of the day. And it becomes a habit. You don't think, and you don't have any triggers to get you up. So you go 6-7 hours without moving out of a chair, and that's debilitating, number one, to your body over time. and two, it doesn't help you move towards your progress with health and fitness. So okay, so we named three things. Those are pretty common things, I think. So those will speak to many people. What what's the first step?
Hmm. So get rid of it. you know, you don't want to have it around. It's so easily accessible. If you're trying to make a change and it's always in your face and your body does a lot of things on autopilot, if it's always around, it's very easy to give in if you have a stressful day or you just don't have something to grab or you just haven't gotten used to the I'm thinking about each scenario. You haven't gotten used to like exercise yet. Like my dad, he's trying and he put his gloves by the door so when he gets home he saw his exercise gloves. So I guess it depends, if it's something you're trying to eliminate and get rid of or you're something you're trying to work towards, right?
Yeah.
um but if you're trying to eliminate and get rid of it, the first thing is get it out. Get it out, and that's sometimes the hardest part, right?
Yeah, 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 absolutely. Um, and I think, you know, I actually think that that's the second part.
Mm.
The first part, and this is gonna sound a little like, yeah, of course, but I think really, when you understand the word and what it means, it makes a bigger impact, right? Is the word decide, right? You have to decide that you want to eliminate that thing. Let's say sugar, for example. Let's say you consume an enormous amount of sugar. Let's say you're a soda drinker, right? And that's the first thing that you want to go. You have to make a decision that that is going to be eliminated from your life. That's the first step. You see, a lot of times when I'm coaching with people, and I start having these conversations, and when I get down to the questions, that it reveals things that people don't really want to let go of the thing. They just want the outcome of letting go of the thing.
Yeah, but that's the struggle, that's the battle.
Well, it is the struggle and the battle, but you have to understand that you can't have your cake and eat it too. That's the reality of life. If you want to live healthy, you can't eat ice cream every night before you go to sleep. You're going to end up type 2 diabetic. You're going to have 10 to 15 pounds put on your body every single year. I mean, unless you're like exercising rigorously to burn off that excess calories, but you're going to be prone to becoming more diabetic, type 2 diabetic because of insulin resistance or whatever. There's a lot of factors that play into that, and it's like, do you want the outcome? And if you do, you have to decide to let go of the thing that that is so comforting to you.
Yeah, well, oftentimes, when you go through like coaching programs, they teach you to, help people process like the pros and the cons to something, right? And what's hurting you and what's gonna help you. And so you're basically talking about that. So
Yeah.
to make that decision, you kind of weigh out, okay, well, if I continue to drink soda, what's the reality? Staring at it straight in the face. And that can be difficult for people sometimes. That's why you do need a coach often, or a community to see like, okay, this is possible. I remember actually not that long ago, I was hanging out with people and they were talking about the elimination of like not having something. I don't remember what it was. I'm trying to think about it. Um, and I was like, ooh, like not at all, like not even thinking about it or having it. And that was very, I don't know what it was, but that was very difficult for me to think about. But being in that community opened the idea that I could actually do that, right? And then actually implementing it. And I think community is a huge piece to not make it so daunting. Because if you hear this, you're like, oh, whatever. But I think that if they think about getting around like minded people or having a coach, it can be more like, I can do this. Like, other people are doing this, and it's a lot more empowering.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's part of the steps that you take once you make the decision. that you're going to stop drinking soda, for example, then that's when you start to remove it, right? Or let's say alcohol, right? If you're gonna eliminate alcohol, you gotta get it out of your house. You have to not go to places that you used to go to drink, and you have to stop hanging out with people who you used to hang out with and drink with, because they are not concerned about what you want to do, and they are going to entice you. They are going to put a drink in front of your face. They'll buy you a drink, or they'll ask you if you want a drink. Most of the times, people are not highly respectful of what your goals are and the decisions that you make for yourself. Now, don't get me wrong. There's people out there that are like that, and hopefully you surround yourself with people that support you in all aspects. But and from my experience, a lot of times, um, I have clients that I talk to specifically about alcohol, and they are surrounded by so many people that drink. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, how is that an excuse? If you decided that you're not going to drink no more, and those people influence you to drink, then you got to get rid of them.
Well, we've talked about this before, but it goes deeper. Like, you're going now into another subject. So you want to give them, like, the points, but you're going now into, like, where it's part of their identity, right? And it goes back into other topics that we've talked about before. So, yeah, it's a lot of work, and that's why I think um, community and it's a process, right? And it takes time for us to sometimes fail and struggle to realize that we don't want it anymore. Sometimes I think there's deeper bondages, I believe. And you need the gospel and you need Jesus Christ, right? To help you like transform. Like, you're a perfect example.
Yeah.
So that's a big factor too. Sometimes there's a deeper bondage there and it's not just like a micro habit or something changing. But yeah, so first step we said was
Make a decision.
make a decision.
Get it out of sight.
Get it out.
Get it out.
And then what was that?
Make it extremely difficult to do.
Yeah.
Right? So if it's eating ice cream, then don't buy it. Don't buy it at the store.
Yeah.
Don't keep it in your house, right? If it's alcohol, don't keep it in your house. Don't go to places. Don't go to bars. If you go to a restaurant, go to a fine, nice restaurant where you can have a good meal. But a lot of these bougie restaurants nowadays are they have these they focus on the alcohol that they sell and all these fancy drinks and stuff. So
those are some, practical ways that you can implement it. I think that not like hammering yourself and beating yourself up too when you fail and when you fall short. I like Brian Johnson. He says, like, use the flashlight, right? Like, take a look, get really curious, study what went wrong, like what happened right before you decided to make that decision that you wanted to change. And I don't know, that word curiosity and just being like a child and just trying to study it and learning about ourselves, because we don't really know about ourselves, and it takes taking a deeper look. So I think that's huge, because if we already beat ourselves up and like forget it, and then I can't do this, and you do that whole rabbit hole, then we completely lost the confidence, which you like to talk about. And you've got to build your confidence. Like, you got to do what you say you're going to do.
yeah, yeah, I like that. Brian Johnson calls it needs work, right? So you needs working. So when you fall short, which you will, right? Nobody's perfect along this journey, but it's like you've made the decision, you've eliminated everything, you made it very difficult, and now you fall short, and it's like, don't shame yourself, because shame is only going to make you feel bad. All right? It's like Dani just said, take out that flashlight and say, what happened? It takes work to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are not concerned with why they do what they do. So that's a huge component to to making change. And we have this moth that's like flying around our face. She just crushed it.
I didn't crush it.
So having the capacity to not shame yourself and say, okay, I fell short. What happened? Look at it intently, and then create a plan so that it doesn't happen that same way again. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't, then what's probably going to happen is you'll probably do the same thing again. Yeah. Because you haven't set up a strategy in order for it not to. Mm. So.
And also, like, having this defeated, we often see that too, this defeated mindset. And it comes from, we said we're going to do something and then we don't hold to it, or it feels too daunting, and so just making sure that we know we can create a new path and a new journey, and it doesn't have to be our story. I think that makes a huge difference, because if you already are defeated before you start, and you really don't believe that you can start making progress and forward change, then it can be really, really difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got make a decision. Mm-hmm. And decide in the Latin means to cut off, right? So I just wanted to talk a second about that before we move on, right? Because I think it's just really, really important to understand what it means to make a decision. Just because you verbalize something doesn't mean you decided to do it. It takes a little more, like some internal, like really structured, like, okay, I'm putting the stake in the ground here. This is the end of this thing, and it's not going to look perfect, but I'm moving forward to remove this out of my life because I see how destructive it is. Like you were saying, you got the pros and cons on it. Like, I see how destructive it is. I know that it's not good for me. It's not moving me in the direction of my goals. If I don't achieve my goals, then I'm not going to be satisfied. I'm not going to be fulfilled at the end of the day. And so I need to remove this thing out of my life. And I'm deciding to do that today. So you decide, you cut off all options. You eliminate everything from around you that puts you at exposure to the thing that you're deciding to cut off. After you do that, you need to work it. Break out the flashlight. If you fall short, you say, what went wrong? Mm-hmm. And you work it out. And you keep doing that over and over. And maybe you need to recommit every single morning.
But also you need community. Like, you need usually like some form of where you're trying to go to, either like a friend, like someone on your side, because it's really difficult when there's like nobody. Yeah, or you have a negative kind of influence. So I think
there's a phrase that says,
it helps. So you don't have to have it, but it's very helpful.
Well, no man is an island, right? Like, you don't want to do life alone. And there's also that other saying that you are the sum total of 5 people you hang out with most. Mm-hmm. So if you hang out with a bunch of 5 drinkers and you try to quit drinking, you better change your friends, otherwise you're going to keep drinking. Mm-hmm. Right? If you hang out with people that eat cake and ice cream or pizza and ice cream every single weekend on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or whatever, you're probably going to be doing the same thing they're doing. Right? So a lot of times you got to change the circle that you hang around with in order for changes to happen in your own life. Mm-hmm. So don't expect to just, overcome. Once you make a decision, that decision means that it's gone. Yeah. And everything changes that moment, right? 1 degree a day over the course of a year will put you on the track of being 30%, 32% different at the end of the year. And if you compound that year over year, that is astronomical growth. Yeah. 1 degree, 1%. That's it. 1% better than you were yesterday. you just have to be intentional about that. You just have to want to be better. And you got to show up for yourself every single day.
But that takes a lot of like reflection and
Intention.
intention, but reflecting too, and to see, and asking the people around you, like, or listening to them and what they think, you could be doing better if they really care and they want to see you progress and do better. So
that's part of taking out the flashlight.
Yeah, but we're just talking about like continued increase, like continued growth, right? Not only when things go wrong. But yeah, you can have the flashlight out and all the time. Yeah, get curious. What can I do better this week? So yeah, I totally agree. And in the culture that we're in, it's like it has to be big, it has to be the best, it has to look the best for it to count.
Yeah.
And then if it doesn't count. Like, that whole A, like trying to get the A, and if you don't have an A, like, it's like if you do your best and you show yourself grace and then you practice and practice. I think you can see that 33% and it's powerful, and we underestimate it too much, and we don't even try because we think like it's only 1%.
Yeah.
So
I mean, a lot of times people don't try because they get overwhelmed with thinking that everything has to be complete. Like the minute that you decide, like, you can't ever touch it again, or you can't ever do the thing again.
Yeah, because but also because 1% is not like 1%. It's like that. Like, it's not the perfection. It's not the greatness. It's not. But it is a progress versus no action. It's like It's like a lot of people say, "Well, I'll start Monday." It's like, well, what's wrong with Friday?
Yeah. Or what's wrong with now? When is now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they started on a Friday, right? It's like it's a day of your life, and it's just another habit pattern. Right?
Yeah.
You wait 3 more days, it's not going to be any easier. So just start the day because Friday's going to come around again, right? So
yeah. And I like the penny analogy, right? It's like you want $1 million, or you want 1 penny a day compounded every day for 30 days. And most people are like, if they've never heard it before, are like, I want $1 million. But when you compound a penny over the day, it's like double, right? But you have to wait 30 days to get it, And it's like, I think we have that same mindset when we talk about change and we talk about eliminating habits, right? It's like, don't think that you need to get the reward of getting everything out right now, right?
Yeah.
Make small incremental changes daily, compounded over time. You will be a completely different person at the end of every single year. And you will be happy about it.
Yeah.
Because you will be making progress. And progress is the number one thing that gives people fulfillment at the end of the day, because you feel like you're moving towards something.
Great. That's it in a nutshell.
Yeah. Well, we hope you guys really enjoyed this episode, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Leave some comments below, or shoot us an email at info@dnafitnessnation.com, and we would love to talk about anything that you guys have concerns about.
See you later.
Bye.